What's going on, people, and welcome to Man Knows Football. You are here with Guni with a much more positive attitude today. The past few weeks with Chelsea have just been a bit of a nightmare. Even though our last game we got 3 points, I was disgusted by the performance. Yes, there was reasons for that, but still, my blood pressure didn't comprehend it. It was going through the roof. It's not good for my blood pressure, and I hope they don't do it to me this weekend, but it is a London derby against West Ham. Yeah, and West Ham are not dickheads. They're actually the second best team in London. If you don't agree with me, look at the table, yeah, and argue with yourself. Look at the table last season. Arsenal, you're not chatting to West Ham at the minute. So all of that party over Kovacic, allow that, less of that, because what I saw from Party over there, he looked like the party pooper for Arsenal, bro. He just was not cutting it. Don't ever mention that bum next to Kovacic ever again. I don't want to hear it, yeah? Big up Don Robbie, because he said the same madness, yeah? But Don Robbie, you need to hear it from man, yeah? Allow them comparisons right there, bro. Allow them comparisons. I don't know what they're telling you over there on Don Robbie, but that is not it. Partey is a bum in the Premier League. Allow it, bro. He's not talking to Kovacic. Champions League winning Kovacic, you know. Yeah, you mad? Silky Kovacic, that's just the most press-resistant midfielder you've ever seen, bruv, yeah? Allow Kovacic, he's walking into your midfield captain and he's your best player. Don't talk about Kovacic, bro. I was going to say N'Golo Kovacic, bro. That's how far my head's gone. I was going to call him N'Golo Kovacic. That's how close I hold him to greatness, bro, yeah? Big up Kovacic all day long, bruv. Hope he gets fit. We need him back, because that left side with Marcus Alonso is suffering. But listen, Guni has been waffling a little bit, but make sure you do like, share, subscribe. Leave your thoughts down there in the comments as well. That is the most important thing, because I love interacting with you. I love to hear your thoughts, and I'm getting to know quite a few of you as well, man. So this YouTube thing is beautiful. This community is beautiful. So let's help it grow a bit more. You get me? Yes, very positive. Why should Guni be so positive? Well, there's not really a particular reason. I just feel like positive vibes only. Why can I not feel positive? You get me? We're top of the table. Yeah, we've got big Bolingo coming back into the squad and that. Hopefully he starts this weekend. But it's like I said, West Ham are no mugs. We're going to get into the content. Let's start with the big boss, Tommy T, and what he had to say in the press conferences. Tommy T, as usual, it's become routine. The first question that he needs to be asked is, who will actually be available for the game against West Ham? We got some good news and we got some slightly bad news. So I'm going to start with the bad news. Obviously, we know about Chilwell. There's no surprises there. That's a bad injury. Will be assessed after 6 weeks to see whether he can continue on his own or if he's going to need surgery, which will leave him out for the rest of the season. Kovacic is still out with the injury. It's been a little while now. We need Don Kovacic back. You get me? Mateo, you need to get fit, bro. We need you on that left side, especially now that Chilwell is injured. We need a midfielder that is actually competent, that can play there, because Saul in the last game, he had no qualities about him, and he was one of the reasons why Marcus Alonso played so badly, because he was just being bypassed down that left side. He was just a passenger, putting pressure on Marcus Alonso, and this is where we've got to be careful in this West Ham game, bro. But we're going to come on to the tactics just a little bit. I ain't going to get into too much depth, but some basics that could change the game, in my opinion, could decide the result. Kante is also injured, and I wish Tommy T just told us, like, Kante gonna be out for a couple of weeks, not just for a couple of days, because listen, man, we miss that little goat, man. We miss little N'Golo in that midfield. He is a maestro, the best in the world. Come back, N'Golo. What is going on with these injuries, man? But yeah, aside from that, we seem to be cool. We got the big boy, Reece James is back. Sounds like Jorginho is also back. He trained with the squad and he seems to be okay. And don't know whether this is good news, but Timo Werner is also going to be available for the weekend. Oh yeah, I forgot as well. Trevor, the little gun driller, will not be available. He is still injured. I don't think he's going to be out for too long, but still a big miss. So there's going to be quite a few changes. We're going to have to make do with what we have, sort of similar to Watford, but this time we've got a little bit of a better selection ahead. And thank goodness, because it is West Ham. Now, you see West Ham, they're no mugs. Ever since David Moyes went back to the club, they have been punching way above their weight, some would say. And now they're currently looking like the second best team in London. So Arsenal fans, stop talking about Chelsea. We're not trying to hear you. You're too far down there for us to hear you from all the way up here. You need to talk to West Ham, not Chelsea, innit? Same with Spurs as well, yeah? So let's not get it twisted. There's only one club in London that run this shit, and it's us. But West Ham, we know that they like to overload, yeah? And in this particular situation, why I did touch on Saul and that left side is, aside from the obvious that they play poor, but that is definitely going to be playing into West Ham's hands, because if you look at West Ham, they like to overload one side. They will isolate a defender, 2-on-1 that defender, play through that and work their space and work their way behind the defence. So that's where we've got to be careful. So if Marcos Alonso is going to start, which I doubt, because if you really look at it, we had a game earlier on in the week. He still needs to recover as well, and so on and so forth. So it might be a bit early for him to come in. So there might be a little bit of a makeshift there. You understand? So it might be a thing. Don't be surprised if you see Reece James switched to that left wing back side and Callum Hudson-Odoi played that right wing back. Now, let me know what you think about that idea because of that performance we saw from Marcos Alonso. Like I said, it's not entirely his fault. He's got to hold a portion of the blame because there's basics that you've got to get right. Your touch has got to be on point. You've got to be able to play a clearance. You've got to be able to position yourself as a defender and know and smell danger. And Alonso was guilty of not doing a lot of those things. So, we really got to look at it. So, in my opinion, I think, although Reece James obviously is naturally better on that right side, I definitely think he could do a much better job than Marcos Alonso. He is a complete football player as well, has a very good left foot on him, and I think Reece James cutting inside, we see that all the time with the inside runs that the wing backs make, but I think him cutting inside from that left and being on his strong shooting foot, that might bring a different dimension to Reece James's game, because like I said, this brother is a complete baller. Him cutting in and just curling one in. Don't be surprised if he starts doing that, you know. Callum Hudson-Odoi, we've seen him deputise down that right side, that right wing back side. A lot of people will say, what about Azpilicueta on that right wing back side? Yes, he would be an option, but this is not a game where you want him isolated, because again, it's dealing with that pace and then having the partner to come back and help him. You understand? So this ain't really that kind of game. If he was in the centre-back trio, which he might be, if he was in the centre-back three, then I got no problems. I think he will flourish there in that trio. But on that side, I would rather Callum Hudson-Odoi. Yes, defensively, he's nowhere near as good as Azpilicueta, but at least he can get up and down. At least he can mimic the runs similar to what we were seeing from Reece James and Ben Chilwell, and he can execute them. So attacking-wise, I think that would be the way to go. West Ham, they do have Soufal back. And you do know, like, Soufal does like to pair up with that winger, whether it's going to be Ben Rama, whether it's Bowen, whoever it is. So on that side, there could be a lot of danger. And my guess is that West Ham are definitely going to target that left side. Everywhere else on the field, I think we're going to be okay. But since I did kind of go into the lineups, I'm going to give you my predicted lineups and my reasons for them. Obviously, big man Mendy in goal because he's the best goalkeeper in the world. It's that simple. On that right side, I'm going to put Callum Hudson-Odoi. Azpilicueta, yes, we know he's more naturally suited there, but I've given my reasons as to why I wouldn't play him there. So it's got to be Callum Hudson-Odoi. The centre-back trio, unfortunately, I was going to call him Nathaniel. Unfortunately, Trevor is not available, but we have very good depth in that trio. So we still have Thiago Silva, we still have Rudiger, and we still have Azpilicueta as an option, and Malang Sarr, the young option as well, who has deputised there and hasn't really put in too much wrong, like except that one game where he had a shocker. But I can trust him to come back, and as long as he listens to his seniors, I think he can hack the 90 minutes. My thing is with Thiago Silva though, and where I'm concerned is his age, and we did have a midweek game, so will that be too much for him to start the game? We're going to have to wait and see. But if not, then it's going to have to be the trio of Rudiger, Azpilicueta, and quite possibly Malang Sarr. And then ahead of them, the pivot, Jorginho, good news, good news, because we saw against Watford just how poor our ball retention was, and Jorginho, how important he is in terms of distributing possession, getting the players into the right position, because you see how vocal he is, how much of a leader he is on the field. He's very vocal, he lets his partners and the people around him know where to be and what to do, and he sniffs out danger. This is going to be key against West Ham because you've got some talented midfielders there. One that we know very well, who's come from the Chelsea Academy, and we might be seeing back in the Chelsea shirt in the future, is Declan Rice. Excellent midfielder, especially when it comes to the defensive duties. He does not give his midfield opposition any time on the ball. He does recover possession and start that turnover into attack very quickly with Declan Rice. So in terms of keeping the ball in that midfield and not losing out against West Ham, it's going to be key. So Jorginho must start. To partner Jorginho, I'm going to give Ruben Loftus-Cheek the nod. Yes, he had a poor game against Watford, but again, I do think there are reasons for that. I think his partner Saul was giving him no confidence. You could see that he didn't trust his partner, and as a result, it all went to shit. The midfield was just bypassed. That left side was just getting attacked. But I think if Ruben Loftus-Cheek does trust his midfield partner, we will see a better game from him. Hopefully, I've been calling for him to have it because I know it's in him. Hopefully, we will see the Ruben Loftus-Cheek that we know, and he can put in that potential man of the match performance and perhaps even get a goal. Who knows? And then the front three, I'm going to definitely go with Pulisic on that left wing, because I just think game by game the qualities I'm seeing from him is starting to get better. He's starting to get that dynamicness back and that match fitness back. You can see the confidence is there. He's not scared to beat the players and really get involved in the link-up play up top. And it's like I said before, I do think Christian Pulisic is the best winger in terms of linking up with any of the attackers. He had success with Batshuayi. He's had success with quite a few different players. So I would love to see him start on that left side. Down that middle, I'm confident enough to say big Bolingo. I want to see him start the game. The past 2 games, he was fit enough to play. He did feature for some minutes, but I think the big man is back. And hopefully, you can get the Bolingo song if he does bust a hat-trick. You get me? I've been dying to sing that to my peoples, man. I've been dying to sing that tune. So, big Bolingo is going to cause trouble for Kurt Zouma and the man at the back. But let's not get it twisted. Kurt Zouma, we know all about him. Very, very talented. Very good defensive-wise. Is prone to a mistake if you do press him. His passing sometimes is a bit 50-50, but defensively, as a pure defender, Kurt Zouma is top notch. So he's going to have it cut out for him, and that's why I think it's going to be important to have Pulisic partnering him on that one side. And then on that right side, I'm definitely going to go with Hakim Ziyech. Past few games, listen, he's still not at the level where we want him to be yet, but definitely we're starting to see improvements. We're starting to see him win his tackles a lot more, help out his wing backs a lot more. You know, even going forward, he's providing the threat. Scored that winning goal against Watford, so hopefully Ziyech can pick up and go from it, because what we saw at the beginning of the season, even in pre-season, if we can get that from Ziyech, he's going to make that spot his own if everybody else is not careful. And I hope that Ziyech, this is eternal form, because at the age that Ziyech is at, there's no time for patience. That's why my patience with him is a lot less than everybody else. But I think with that team, we should have enough to come away with a win. Listen, West Ham are absolutely no mugs. I just want to make sure that we are playing at their ground. West Ham versus Chelsea. Don't want to get that one wrong. Yep, we will be playing tomorrow, the 12:30 p.m. kickoff in the UK if you live there. 7:30 in the morning on the East Coast if you live in New York, just like me. But I do think that we should have enough to take care of West Ham, get ourselves back into winning ways, and hopefully have a more of a convincing performance than what we saw against Watford. We're definitely going to have to step it up. We're going to have to be a lot more clinical in front of goal. We have got big Bolingo back. We will have Pulisic available. Hopefully he starts, Ziyech as well. Hopefully Ziyech will be able to get whoever's on that right side partnering him, will be able to get the support that he needs. We'll be able to operate wide on those wings where I like to see him, where I feel he's got a lot more freedom out there and he's a lot more himself. Maybe he could even contribute towards a goal. So listen, West Ham, absolutely no mugs. Quite a few players in that lineup that are dangerous. Ben Rama, very, very tricky winger, and he's adding goals to his game as well. Also is involved a lot in West Ham's attacks. Then obviously you've got Mikel Antonio, who is on good goal scoring form for West Ham. Although West Ham haven't won their past couple games, still you've got to be dangerous. These are guys with their backs against the wall at the minute, and that's the most dangerous time to be playing them. Yeah, and they desperately need a win, and if they want to get a win, they're definitely going to be motivated to get one against their London rivals, because that's going to set them up good for this Christmas period and going into January. So it's not going to be an easy game, but definitely I do think there's enough. I do think we're going to get goals from our forwards. I do think we're going to get in behind their defence a couple of times. Lukaku is going to get a couple of goals. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go with 2-1 West Ham. Yes, not West Ham, 2-1 Chelsea. Yes, I'm not predicting a clean sheet this time round. Again, it comes down to that Marcos Alonso and that left side, I'm not really too sure about it at the minute. Listen, this ain't the agenda on Marcos Alonso. He has been a fantastic servant for the club, and of course in that title winning season under Kante, he was absolutely flying. 28 years old Marcos Alonso, now he's a bit older, and you can't beat Father Time, you get me? He wasn't the fastest player before. Now obviously with time he's going to get slower, his reactions ain't going to be all there, so but he still has his uses, especially going forward, because saying that against Watford, going forward, definitely he was providing an attacking threat. So big up Marcos Alonso, but in terms of being that long-term stay there, there's a lot we have to do to accommodate him as well. And really he's like the gaping sort of weakness hole in that squad that other teams are going to look to exploit. So hopefully Chilwell can come back sooner rather than later from his injury, or we can recall Ian Matson from loan in January, or maybe explore the January window if Chilwell is going to be a long-term injury. But let me know what you think, how the game tomorrow is going to go. What do you think your result's going to be? Are you confident of getting 3 points? Let me know everything. And as well, one more thing that I want to say, yeah? In Thomas Tuchel's press conference, there was the stupidest question that was asked. It was about Ralph Rangnick. It was saying that, are you surprised to hear that Rangnick turned down the Chelsea job before you did? And Tuchel just answered sarcastically. He's like, maybe the owners thought after the Wolves game that I didn't know what I was doing and I was going to be sacked. But it's a dumbass question, bro. What kind of question is that? The man's a Man United manager, Tuchel's Chelsea manager, and has won the Champions League. Why should he care, bro? He's done his job and he's continuing to do his job. You get me? So big up Thomas Tuchel and big up all of you. You get me? And make sure you do like, share, subscribe, leave your thoughts down there in the comments as well. And smash that notification button, because I'm not trying to hear it from my good friend Leon anyway. But wherever you are, whatever you're doing, please make sure you do stay safe. Bless.